Hi, Demetrius Sherrod here in the Cobb TV studios for Chatting with the Chief. And today I'm joined by a special guest from the Public Information Office, Officer O'Hara. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
All right, we're glad to have you. Thanks for being here. So today, I know we want to talk about a subject that you're very involved in, which is the Cobb Police Explorers. Can you give us a little background about what that program is?
So the Explorer program is actually under the Learning for Life umbrella, which is also the sponsor of Boy Scouts of America. It is a program for children ages 14 to 21, and it's basically an introduction into the law enforcement career. And the kids come in with a interest in law enforcement, and we take them from there and start training them.
And so what kind of kids are eligible to join this program?
So as I said, the kids are between the age of 14 and 21. They have to have a school GPA of 2.0 or higher. They can't have any significant disciplinary problems in school, and they can't have any misdemeanor or felony convictions on their file. So we're still looking for kids that are interested in law enforcement, but we still do have our restrictions for who can be a part of our program.
So what do kids get out of this program? What do they learn?
They actually learn a lot of stuff in our program. We go through extensive training, but it's not just talk sessions with PowerPoints. We do a lot of hands-on stuff. We teach them the basics of criminal law, what the law means and how it's applied, and then we take that and put it into training. We send our kids through a lot of different scenarios where they take that criminal law knowledge and they put it into practice.
Now, when the explorers compete, do they compete against other explorers from different jurisdictions?
They do. Each program is called a post, and the post has anywhere from 5 kids to sometimes 200 kids. And we get together in big conferences and have competitions. The competitions are usually sponsored by different posts, and you get graded. So we have competitions like domestic violence incidents, we have traffic stops, we have active shooter scenarios, and that gives the kids an opportunity to be put into a high stress situation to see how they take their knowledge and apply it.
So doing a program like this, I'm sure it's a huge undertaking. How is it funded?
So the cool thing about the Explorer program is that there is, aside from the officers who are involved, myself and Officer Higgins, we do get compensated for our time in the program, but the rest of the program is completely self-funded. We do things that we call details, which would be like parking cars at the North Georgia State Fair. And then everything else is funded through donations to our program. And that allows us to be able to go on these trips. Like we just got back from the national championship where we actually placed. And that was a whole week excursion, and that's hotels and that's food. So through our details and through our donations, we're able to actually pay for those hotel rooms and for the food for the kids. So our Cobb County citizens don't actually have to, pay any taxes or anything towards the program. So it's a great way for the kids to get out there and to be a part of the community without putting the weight and financial burden of the program on the community.
So being around these young people, you kind of see them grow up into adults. What kind of experience is it for you to see, a teenager grow into, their 20s and become an adult?
Well, many times our kids start the program, when they're 14, and they're young, formidable little people. I say little people, but young people. And as the program continues and as they go through the program, it's incredible to see the maturity that they gain from the program and the structure that they pull out of it, but also to see the knowledge that they learn. When they first come in, they don't know how to handcuff somebody. They don't know how to do radio traffic. They don't know anything about, how to do a DUI investigation. And by the time they age out of the program or move on to other ventures in life, it's incredible to see how the program has shaped them into a young adult, and also the knowledge that they've gained from the program.
So what kind of feedback have you gotten from both the kids and the parents as well?
We've actually got incredible feedback. A lot of parents say that when their kids come home, they have less disciplinary issues, they're more respectful. and they see a positive impact because instead of the kids being out, on the street on a Thursday night where they might be getting into trouble, they're with us from 6 p.m. to about 8:30 at night, and they're in a structured environment with leaders who are there to help them train. But not just that, when we have explorers that leave the program and end up going to a law enforcement career, they already have so many tools that other police officers might have to learn and mandate. So they're already a step ahead. One of our officers, Oscar Escarcega, he's actually on the road now. He went through our program. And I have heard nothing but good stories about him and how he's out there and he knows the law and he applies it well. So the feedback from other officers on the road all the way up until the family members has been undoubtedly very positive.
So what's the rough estimate percentage that you would say that the kids that are in the program actually go on and become part of law enforcement?
So for our program, we have about 30% of our kids that are in our program end up being law enforcement. 30% end up being military, and then the other percentage usually ends up going into the private sector. So we do have a pretty good turnaround in our program. And when I've talked to other programs, a lot of them don't have as much of a turnover rate as we do. But a lot of that has to go with being Cobb County and our reputation and how we've already invested so much into these kids in the Explorer program that they want to give back. So then they end up going into law enforcement. And most of the time it's with us.
All right, so if we have any young people or parents watching right now, how can one become involved in this program?
So Officer Higgins is the primary advisor and I'm his associate advisor. We both have emails that we can be reached at, and we both have phone numbers that we can be reached at. So we'll give those to you to put up there. But typically what happens is somebody who's interested in our Explorer program reaches out to one of us. We have them have the kid who's interested in the program come out to one of our training sessions so they can kind of get a feel of how it works. And then if they decide that they want to be a part of the program, we go ahead and give them an application. We do a background check on them. And then, once they've been accepted into the program, then we go ahead and start getting them training.
All right. Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate your visit, and we wanted to give you a big congratulations for placing in the Nationals. I know you guys competed earlier, I believe it was last month. So we wanted to congratulate you and your team. I know Officer Higgins is involved as well, so we want to congratulate all of you guys for the hard work that you do, and we all appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, that's all the time that we have for today, but in the meantime, make sure to follow the police department. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Nextdoor.